I did a drive-by of the Zebco booth, and it looked pretty standard. Well, I don't think they're making any waves this year.
That's what we expect as Zebco users.
Continues.
That's right. I'm not looking for change, bud.
You push the button.
Push button. I need to throw it, and I need to know that it's going to work.
Start
every
fishing.
Time.
I almost took a video.
I need to hear that click, bud.
I took Bo and Sophie fishing this past weekend, and they're both using spinning rods now, like adult size spinning rods, 6.5 foot, and almost sent it to you, but decided not to.
You should have.
Hey, look,
I got a kick out of it.
I got big kids now. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Drury Outdoors 100% Wild podcast. I'm Tim Chelsvik.
Kind of got a country slang. I'm Matt Drury.
I wish I was country. I wish I had a country accent.
Ain't country.
And then
definitely not.
The other accent I love on a woman is an Australian accent.
Does your wife know this?
Something about an Australian woman's voice.
Do you make your wife speak like an Australian?
I should.
Hey, mate. I don't know how that would sound.
Throw another shrimp on the Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just not as sexy, I guess, when you fake it.
That's what she said.
Well, speaking of sexy, you're Matt Drury.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, I'm freshly tanned from Florida.
Hey, I'm freshly tanned from Europe, buddy.
Ooh, the country?
Yeah, well, several. I had several countries in Europe.
Did you bring back any euros for me?
Yeah, for the kids. Yeah. Sorry.
Love to.
I forgot about my third kid.
I want one of those. I went to Europe, or I know someone who went to Europe, and all I got was this crappy shirts.
Yeah, well,
I
didn't end up getting anything. My wife shopped. Plenty.
My wife.
Well, the kids got stuff, but I walked away empty-handed. Just a credit card full of debt.
That's tough.
I went to Europe and all I got was credit debt.
I'm bad about souvenirs because usually they're junk and they're meaningless. But so I went down to Icast last week, had a blast, but I actually stopped and picked up a couple things for the kids. Yeah. I got Bo a taxidermied alligator head, which he freaking loves. He loves like poking at the teeth and being like, oh, it hurts. They're so sharp. Stop doing it. And then I got Sophie a hoodie. But they had little baby sharks in formaldehyde that I really thought about getting Sophie because she likes stuff like that.
That's
but
cool.
I figured I'd probably get flagged by TSA trying to get back home because I also got caught in that CrowdStrike thing. And that was when there's news reporters there at the airport.
Never good.
It's not a good thing. And I think I ended up on the news. Like my flight was at 4. I got there like 4:00 in the morning, and they had news cameras there panning through the lines of people, and no one was happy.
Yeah. Yeah, we got lucky and missed all that somehow because we flew back home on Sunday. So just a day after, really, a lot of that was happening, and
close call.
It didn't affect us in any way. So that was great because it was a 10.5-hour flight from Rome back to Chicago.
It could have been bad.
It could have really sucked.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I wouldn't have felt bad staying in Rome.
Oh no, we're stuck in paradise.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And so you were speaking about the gifts for the kids. So we got a few things for the kids, but one of the things that we visited a museum where Michelangelo's David statue was, which is.
Did you cover your eyes?
Dude, this thing is huge. Not know
what?
But anyways, I thought it'd be funny. I thought Cameron would get a kick out of a mini. It was a bobblehead. They were selling bobbleheads.
Yeah, classic.
So we got one. Miranda dropped it and broke it.
Oh no!
So, yeah,
like Goonies.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why I was just thinking of that, like Chunk and Goonies.
What an awesome movie!
Oh, the best.
Yes.
So hey, you guys,
can you bring in the bobblehead? Like I don't know if we can show it.
Hell
we
yeah,
might
I
have
can
to
show
put
it.
a black bar.
That's art, Tim. It doesn't count.
It's true.
Think about it.
I'm art. Hey, if you've showed up to the podcast this week hoping to find some kernel of deer hunting truth, I don't know that this is the place for you. Might not be
the week for you.
This is one of those BS episodes that we're just kind of kicking back and shooting the breeze on.
And I'm a big boy.
So I saw very quickly last night, someone in the Rack Pack posted a question about you and me. I didn't see all the different domains that they wanted us to compete in.
Yeah, the Rack Pack's been pretty, they're getting rowdy.
Chippy.
Yeah, so I forget the guy's name, but he wants to see who would win between you and I in an arm wrestling competition, a Drury trivia competition, a 3-point competition, long archery shot competition. And did I say arm wrestling?
Yes.
And there's one other thing, I think. Oh, karaoke.
General cleanliness.
And I was surprised to see the haters in there say that you would have taken most of these things. And I got to be honest, like, okay, arm wrestling, I might say yes, you might get me on arm wrestling. Karaoke, I'm going to default to you because you pretend to sing. But the rest, I think I could be.
You've been practicing with that bow for your elk trip.
That's right.
I have not been doing any practicing.
So I feel like I could give you a run for your money on a couple of these things. 3-point would be tough. I'm not very athletic.
I suck at basketball.
Okay, so it could be.
I am terrible.
Let's roll. Let's go. So I thought about this. Like, it'd be funny if we did.
I'm down.
All these things.
I'm down.
I don't know what song I would pick for karaoke. It would be bad.
It's Raining Men.
Can't
by the Weather Sisters.
Yeah. It'd probably be something like rap related, 90s.
Well, that's not singing though.
Gangster rap. Huh?
That's not singing.
Tell that to the hip hop community, Tim.
Okay. It's rapping.
I think
you don't know.
No, you don't. You're in the 90s country. Come on. You don't count.
Or 80s or 70s or 60s. If Merle did it, I'm okay with it.
So to whoever asked that question, the only guy I took real offense to the guy that said I would lose 4-1. He gave you everything except I forget, maybe jury trivia.
Was that Terry's fake Facebook profile?
Deep fake. Yeah. So
it did get me thinking about this time of year. I really struggle when people say they're getting their reps in when they talk about shooting their bow. Because to me, it indicates just a focus on quantity and not quality. Like going out and firing off, 30 reps or whatever.
Pete Shapley always told us from PSE, he always talked about that. And it was the perfect practice makes perfect. So, you shoot 5 arrows if they're perfect. Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah. Every now and again, just going out and shooting 1 arrow. Because that's typically what you get.
That is interesting because your first arrow out, I always like to see where I hit because that, like you said, that would have been that would have been the one. And it's usually okay, but not the best. Usually the first one for me isn't the best shot. And so I usually, when I shoot, I'll shoot maybe, 12 arrows, but 20 would be on the high end. I don't really shoot for a long, long time because I'm really just focused in on the quality side of it. And if I'm shooting like shit, I'll stop. Like there's no
sense in reinforcing a bad shot process.
Yeah. It's like, okay, something's off today. Yeah. And usually if I do shoot a little bit longer, as the shots start getting worse, it's like, okay, I've gone too far on the process. So.
Yeah. And that's part of why I don't like the term reps because to me, it just focuses on continuing to push on quantity and not so much your form and perfecting that. And like there are times where I'll go out and I'll just shoot 1, 2, 3, or 4 arrows and start at 60 yards. And part of that is just for my own ego. Cause if I'm off at 60 yards, it's like, it's a 60-yard shot. That's not the end of the world. If I do that at 20, it's a totally different story.
Man, usually I don't usually do that. And usually I don't shoot that far on range until the season hits anyways, because I don't have anywhere great to shoot unless I'm at the farm.
Yeah.
So usually I got 30 out to 30 or 40. Okay. But there's an actual archery range near where I live. It's newer and it's not bad. And it goes out to 50.
An outdoor range.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I could, if nobody was around, I could stretch it probably even further and go out to the parking lot a little bit and get 60 probably. So I've been checking that out, but to try to get some of the, cause it's what I'm worried about with this Idaho elk hunt. It's more the distance thing. And I know like what my range is. I just based on like my setup, I wouldn't shoot out to 70 anyways, but I need to be shooting and practice 70, 80, 90, 100. Yeah. So I'm dialed in at 60, 50, 40, so that's the one area I haven't shot yet. The distance past really 50 so far this summer. So I need to really start honing in on that, because I looked at my summer in like 2 sections. The first part was this. It was my mom and dad's 50th wedding anniversary. So the family went on this cruise to Europe, and it was awesome. But it was like, all right, working up to that part. But the second half of the summer is working up to the elk hunt. So man, I've been working out, and I have a trainer a couple days a week, and we've been mixing in some shooting drills after cardio. So we'll lift, and then on the cardio part, we'll hammer out some cardio, run out. And he's got a really good setup where I could shoot, shoot, my bow, and it's safe and all that stuff. And so we'll go out with the high heart rate and shoot.
It's one to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I really enjoy doing that. But then like I'll shoot standing, but then I'll shoot from one knee, then the other knee, and get 3 arrows in, and then we'll go back in cardio, do it again. We'll do that 3 or 4 reps, or 3
Try
or 4
shooting
times.
from a prone position.
Oh, okay. That'd be tough.
I will say, so I connected with Captain Crazy down at Icast.
Saw that.
He said that it looks like you've been working out.
Hey, thanks, bud.
He was impressed.
Well, who wouldn't be with this facade?
Your wife.
I say she's good. Yeah.
That's what she said.
So, I'd say I work out really hard to have a dad bod, and not even a great one.
It's incredible how much effort you have to put in just to stay in decent shape.
Yeah. So I'm not looking to be swole. I'm not even looking to look like you. I'm just looking to be not a fat ass.
As the kids say, mid.
You know what about Europe, going over there are not any obese people. It was crazy. The difference of, like, if you were to go to, Disney World, or go to somewhere in America, like where there's a bunch of people, concert, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to hate on anybody, but like then going over there, the crowd was totally different.
They walk more.
Yeah. It's almost all walking.
Yeah.
Hell, we were putting like 15, which I know we were there being tourists, but it was like 15 to 20,000 steps easily a day.
Now, do they have cars in Europe?
They're tiny. They are tiny. It's most people are on those little Vespas and ton of motorcycles.
Kerosene.
Dude, the cars are little midget cars.
No thanks.
Yeah. So you didn't see any trucks. There were no trucks. There were no, SUVs. None of that. None of that stuff.
Yeah. It's just a different world.
Yeah. It was awesome though. It was really cool.
I want to get to Norway someday.
Yeah.
See my homeland.
What was surprising, I know this might surprise you that I wasn't overly familiar with my geography over there before I went, but we were not that far from the Swiss Alps, like 3 hours. There's parts of Italy and that you're not far from there at all.
That as an American, my wife lived abroad. She studied abroad over there in college, and still paying on the student debts for that. So, but I'm tangentially accompanied to going to Europe, but everything like we're so used to here in the States, where like if I wanted to go to California, it's a heck of a drive, but everything is so close over there, because they would hop on a train from Spain and go to the Swiss Alps, and it just wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, we went to a port called La Spezia, and we took a train into Florence, and it was a 2 hour, a little less than 2 hours.
Crazy.
This is funny. So we had a group of 20. It was my sisters, their husbands, and their kids, and the kids are a little bit older, so all their significant others. And then my wife and we left the kids at home with her mom, so we could enjoy ourselves.
Yep.
And much to Cameron's chagrin. And so anyways, like when we get to the ports, like for the most part we stuck together, but there were some where some people wanted to, one of the families wanted to go here and some wanted to go, over there. So one day, this particular day, I wanted to go to Florence because I wanted to see some of the museums, the history, the statue of David, like all that stuff. I had art history classes in college and stuff. So I was interested. So anyway, dad and my mom was really, her family's Italian. So my grandma was a full blood Italian. Her parents actually came over from Southern Italy, Sicily. Okay. So we have an interest.
Yeah.
So anyways, mom wanted to go to Florence. My sister Kelly and her family decided to come, and we took Terry Terry was kind of stuck. He was coming with us. So
just sit back here at the hotel and drink a beer.
Terry does not like crowds. He does not really care for people. He does not. He does not like public transport. Like there was a lot of this was out of Terry, and he was great by the way on the whole trip. Like never,
okay, great.
This could have gone either way. Could have bitched the whole time.
I could see either.
And he was great. And so this day we go to Florence. We took the train in. And Miranda was in charge of getting the train tickets to go in. We had to switch trains in Pisa to get to the one to go to Florence. Okay. It was chaotic. It was really hectic. And, you can't, I didn't know what the signs were.
I can't read.
And, and we had on that transfer, we were running late on our train to the next train. So we had 1 minute to get on the next train. We're running through.
That gives me angst just thinking about it.
Terry was in high anxiety. So we get in it and we didn't even have the tickets because it was related to that whole
the CrowdStrike outage
thing. The app had crashed and she didn't have the second set of tickets. And so the whole train ride to Pisa, she's in panic looking for these tickets and we couldn't find them. And so I was like, just get on the damn train. So we jumped on the train without tickets.
Hobos.
And as soon as we got on, then they appeared. It was just, but high anxiety because they have policia walking up and down the aisles and they'll randomly check your tickets and your passport.
They're not armed, right?
They are.
Really?
Yeah. They had guns. Oh. Yeah. So, which was, I didn't know if they did or didn't, but yeah, they were all armed.
Dang.
And so anyways, we go out there, we get to Florence and, we negotiate with a guy to take us on, 2 golf carts around Florence because we had a short amount of time and it was 2 hours in, 2 hours back. Yes. And we didn't have tickets yet for the way back. And on those cruise ships, they say they'll leave your ass if you don't get back in time to the cruise ship. Yeah. And we had to be back at 6:30. We're 2 hours away.
I couldn't enjoy that.
And so we're rushing through Florence. It felt
That's cool.
Chevy Chase and the vacation movie where they go to Wally World, where he just robbed the one place in there at the Grand Canyon. And he's like,
all right, seen it. Good.
Took the picture and then they go. That's how this felt like. So anyways, we're going around and this guy, I guess they have vans as well that they could transport us back to the port.
An actual automobile.
Yeah. So we thought, okay, this will allow us actually to wait to be in Florence longer. And then it's a sure thing getting back. And so we negotiated with that guy to get back. And
did he speak English?
Yeah, he actually was pretty good. And it took us longer than the train would have took. So we're rushing back. We were in 2 different vans. Dad's van was the slow van. And that guy was we kept getting stuck in traffic. And so Dad was earlier in the day. It was his idea to take the vans so we would get back in time because we had bought tickets on the train to get back. But he's like, man, that's too risky. Let's make sure we're going to get back. We'll take these vans. And then we start getting stuck in traffic and it took over 2 hours. It was, it was just Friday, a rush hour. It was not a great situation. And so he's all worried or whatever. And we get back on the because we get back to the port, then had to take a shuttle to the cruise. And we were the last bus and we were the last people on at 6:30. I got we're taking video of getting on the cruise at 6:30.
The boat's pulling away from the dock and the gangplank's about to fall. Go.
Yeah. So it was fun, but Dad was, he was on high alert that day.
Yeah. That just stresses me out. Yeah. Travel in general stresses me out. I don't know.
I got so many pictures and video of Dad sleeping at every place.
Here's Dad sleeping by the Alps. Here's Dad sleeping by the Leaning Tower.
For those, that are used to watching the videos, we always show Terry sleeping in the blind or sleeping wherever stand. And so in the family, that's also our joke. I got so many videos and screenshots of Terry sleeping, and we were all on a WhatsApp. When you're traveling overseas, I guess it's easier to be able to text and communicate. So the whole family was on WhatsApp. I got just picture after picture after picture of Terry, and I'd have sleepy as the caption.
We need a montage of that.
Yeah. So it was fun.
Sleeping his way across Europe.
I got really
Sleepy
off topic.
times.
Sorry, people. I know this is a hunting podcast.
It's summer vacation time, man.
Yeah. So it was fun.
I've been
Great trip.
trying to figure out what I'm going to do for a summer vacation. I still haven't
They
really
let you vacate?
taken, kind of. Like it's been implied.
I thought Icast was your vacation.
Right. Well, I screwed that one up.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything fun down there.
How was Icast?
It was awesome. I tried to connect with Kevin Van Dam,
Yeah.
but it just didn't work out. I saw Jimmy Houston.
Nice.
I grew up watching
Yeah.
him. It was massive, and it always boggles my mind how, as anglers, we focus on the details. Like Mustad was talking about a new hook that they had that it's the shaft of it isn't rounded; it's flat like an I-beam, and it makes a stronger hook. But that was one of their rollouts. But
Yeah.
the electronics, the big swim baits that are going for triple digits, and there's some custom handmade swim baits that are $1,200 up to $2,000 that like your wife would probably kill you if you bought, let alone fished with. I wouldn't fish with it. I'd buy an insurance policy on it.
Well, here's the question I think probably most people are wondering about Icast was what was the Zebco section like?
Captain Crazy told me I needed to go over there.
Did he?
And take some pictures.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't.
It was like being the kid in the candy store. It was like SHOT Show. Like you just, especially I grew up loving fishing and I still love fishing, and there was so much to see, let alone the GSM booth had all kinds of great stuff.
Yeah.
But I did a drive-by of the Zebco booth, and it looked pretty standard.
Well,
I don't think they're making any waves this year.
That's what we expect as
The
Zebco
tradition
users.
continues.
That's right. I'm not looking for change, bud.
You push
I need
the
that
button?
push button. I need to throw it, and I need to know that it's going to
You
work
start
every
fishing.
time.
I almost took a video.
I need to hear that click, bud.
I took Bo and Sophie fishing this past weekend, and they're both using spinning rods now, like adult size spinning rods,
Okay.
6.5 foot, and almost sent it to you, but decided not to.
You should have.
Hey, look,
I got a kick out of it.
I got big kids now.
And I'm a big boy.
I'm a big boy. But it was like I ran into Layden and the guys from the Give and Right down.
Yep.
So it was fun to see some hunting industry friends there.
Yeah, what were they doing on the fishing
They're
side?
branching out into fishing.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, it was it's like the proliferation of kayak fishing.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. The brand of fishing I just don't see myself ever doing is the stand-up paddleboard fishing.
So like saddle hunting, I'm sure you could get into it.
What if I could find a way to marry the
Swing
two?
your way through the.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't think paddleboard. You'd want to swing your way through a paddleboard fishing.
Not so much, but and people are putting electronics on these things, and
Really?
the idea is you're probably going to fall off at some point.
Look, I know I'm definitely like ignorant towards fishing industry in general as well, but I do pay enough attention to know, like, man, that whole electronic thing really is a hot topic.
Forward-facing sonar
Really seems to piss off the old school guys.
Yes, because there are guys that aren't even watching the water. They're not watching their bait. They're watching their bait on the forward-facing sonar.
Yeah.
And they're seeing if there's any balls of shad back into a cove. And if there's not, then they won't even bother. So it's saving them a lot of time. But the argument is that really fishing if you're relying so heavily on your electronics? But I don't know. Electronics have been around for so many years in the fishing industry. And
Which is really good, I guess.
Yeah. And again, you can choose to not use it. But the real rub comes down to tournaments.
That and I get that. It's like the tournament guys. I think the old school guys. I think I saw something. Hank Parker was kind of came out talking against it a little bit, and then I think he had to backtrack a little bit because so many people got upset about it. But
Yeah.
I would totally get it if you come from that era, the Jimmy Houston era, that era. Those guys, even KBD. Probably when he started, it's just much different now than it was then. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just that era of fishermen is used to a totally different style where it was technique and it was instinct and there was probably a lot more knowledge to know how to get on the fish, much less catch them.
Yeah. Heck, I remember the transition from flasher units to actual LCD
Like there's
fish finders.
chick in there flashing you.
It was a guy.
Oh, well.
His name was Robert.
Ooh.
No,
Robert.
No, the old flash, and people still use them. They're great for ice fishing too. But it's just a graph that's a circle, and it lights up based on like where the bottom is, where the fish are. You're just looking at a circular graph that has red and yellow, different colored bands on it, and you're interpreting that. But that was the technology when I was a kid, and then we started getting into LCD.
When I was a kid,
back in the day, and we liked it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Icast. It was a ton of fun. A lot of hillbillies at Icast too. We should help our buddy Brad Harper from the Rack Pack.
Okay, let's do it.
He got a question.
All right, so the question of the day is brought to you by Deer Grow. Better food plots, bigger deer. And it's crazy the amount of rain that we've gotten on food. So you'll get a kick out of this. So I lost the Marthasville. This is not the part you'll get a kick out of. As you know, I lost.
You lost property.
I lost my lease in Marthasville. The owner sold the property.
Yeah.
And so I went out there yesterday to start getting all my stuff out of there. And I texted our buddy Scott. Every single food plot had lush,
beautiful,
biologic, non-typical clover. Every single one. And we have not been able to we couldn't get our food plots to grow for 3 years because it would never rain. So we switched everything to last bite and then clover, non-typical clover. And guess what? Finally worked with all that rain, like lush.
It's going to be killer this fall.
For this next guy, yeah. I was like...
Got it ready for you.
I texted Doug. I was like, I hope this guy realizes how lucky he is.
Dude,
because it took us
in the pants.
3 years to grow this shit. So, yeah, that was a real struggle. But anyways, right now is the time, like... tomorrow I'm heading to all my farms in the Rawls County area, start putting out, do a little mowing, get some weed kill out there, and cameras, all the trail camera stuff we were talking with Wade about a couple weeks ago. I'm going to start getting all the cell cams out. So, but it's food plot time, deer grow time. I went off on a real tangent there, but deer grow made me think of the food plots. Yeah,
no, I went out and mowed my plot, one of my plots a couple days ago, and because of all the rain, the mosquitoes were brutal. Yeah, and thankfully, again with the push mower, they attacked the push mower once I got that started. Like the heat and the carbon dioxide coming out of it, I guess they went for it, not me.
Yeah,
but the mosquitoes are never bad back in this timber, but now they is.
Yeah, that sucks. So how's the clover looking?
Once I got the kind of the weeds and crap cut down, still pretty good.
Did you do any kind of
I didn't
kill on it?
I didn't spray. Yeah. I still might, but I think I'll wait again to see how it grows.
Yeah, I'd wait until you get further into August, because we're gonna get to this stretch of real hot temperatures and not supposed to get any rain. We got a ton of rain leading up to this, but now's always the time where stuff can start dying. So I wouldn't, which that's kind of shaded where you're talking. So you're a little protected from some of that.
Yeah.
So. All right. So the question of the day is from Brad Harper from the Rack Pack. He says, when do buck antlers stop growing and gaining length? Tim?
Well, Brad, that's for us to know and you to find out. Sorry.
Well, we talked about this before we jumped on, because
in depth,
frankly, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting question, and we all know, like at least in the Midwest, you pretty much know what a buck's going to look like in August.
Yeah,
there's not going to be a whole lot of change happening unless
when they're in velvet, they're still the bulbs. It's pretty bulby at the end of the tips. Then they still got a decent amount to grow, and
that really repulsed me when you said that for some reason.
Which the end of the tip?
I'm not
just the tip, or the bulby part, or the bulby tip?
Mostly all of it.
Which part? Bulby tip? Is that the part? Real mushroom tip on that thing.
But I saw a really great buck at a state park a couple days ago.
Is that the one you put on your stories?
Yeah,
he was nice. I was like, damn, where's Tim at? Can't be his piece.
Nope. Nope. That was a state park. He's safe. But he pretty much had the form and everything that he's probably going to have. And
yeah, at this point, you're definitely getting
he was non-bulbular.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd say, I don't know officially when they stop growing, but when you start seeing them to get to the point where they're starting to shed a little bit, they can't grow anymore. So I don't know if you're going to backtrack from that a certain period, a week or a few days or whatnot. I don't know. But usually you start seeing that in September, like where we're at. It's usually the beginning of mid-September at the latest. You know, in Missouri, you're not catching any like September 15th, the beginning of the season. I don't know that I've ever seen someone kill a velvet deer in Missouri. Rarely. I know it's happened, but rarely.
It's an exception. Yeah,
so
for sure.
Usually beginning to middle of September, they're done.
Yeah. So obviously the hard cutoff is once they shed their velvet, then there's no chance for there to be growth. But they're I'm sure there's a ramp down period there leading up to that. Brad, I hope that helped.
You could have Googled this. I know we asked for questions.
You have heard of
there's a limit to our knowledge.
We make fun of people when they do answer, give us questions. All right, the Wildlife Word is brought to you by Tracker Off-Road. Don't forget to sign up for the Tracker 800 SX giveaway on DeerCast.
Yeah,
it's a way to get a free unit.
Yeah, and they're nice, man. I'm actually getting ready to change in the one. I've had one for 3 years. I'm getting ready to swap it out for a new one.
Sweet.
And they're little workhorses for for the price. They're really good for the price. I mean, it's not going to be probably a high end players Can-Am, like something like that, where you're going to spend 25 grand. But
yeah, that's a car
for 12 or 15 or whatever, like they're a damn good unit.
Heck yeah. So, workhorse.
Yeah.
All right. What organ is located in the roof of a buck's mouth and provides scent information directly to a buck's brain that controls his readiness to breed? Sorry, I said it like that. Is it A, the tongue, B, vomeronasal, C, esophagus, or D, the taste buds?
I'm going to go with B.
You are correct, sir.
It's the only one that seemed different than the others.
Oh, that's like a Sesame Street approach.
Yeah.
One of these things does not belong here.
Tim, we've gone over this. That's how I take tests.
Why should I be surprised? The vomeronasal organ in the roof of a buck's mouth is just under its nose. It's not a true gland. It's a plumbing system for funneling scent information from a doe's urine, the odor of the doe's urine, directly into the portion of a buck's brain that controls his readiness and drive to breed.
That doesn't make sense.
Which,
I don't think so, Tim.
That's all a lie. And as far as shout outs,
we need some more, man.
Yeah.
Dude, the Rack Pack, we've had a real fury of new members in the Rack Pack in the last couple of weeks. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. I don't know if it's because like July 4th, then
I think it is. More people are actually listening again. Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Matt and Tim are still doing a podcast.
Sorry that this episode's not up to speed.
I'm not sorry.
I think, we had a couple really good guests on recently. The Wade Robinson episode was great with Trail Cameras. Paul Hollis, always with planting, great. Forrest, killing it with Clover was great. So we're starting to get back into the topical reasons why people actually would listen to this show,
right?
Other than this episode.
I am curious though, if people want to hear us talk about, because Paul Hollis is one of his employees said he saw a Bigfoot, had a Bigfoot encounter.
Yes.
I'm curious if our audience has any desire to hear us talk about that.
Let us know in the Rack Pack. Let us know. Or in YouTube there. If you want to hear about Bigfoot, this could be your source in the outdoor industry.
Should we put a bounty out this season?
Yeah, sure.
On Bigfoot.
We're not going to pay it.
We'll give away
$1 million.
The tracker. We'll give him a dehydrator.
Okay. We will give him that. We got a gigantic Cabela's dehydrator sitting in here in a box.
Kill a Squatch, get a dehydrator.
You get a dehydrator. It's commercial grade, fella. You could fit that entire Sasquatch in it. Think about all the jerky.
Sasquatch jerky.
Hell yes.
Sell it on the DoD store online.
I don't think we can do that legally.
There's no season for it.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think we could sell food.
USDA doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
It's a figment. It's an old wives' tale.
I see. All right. So
back to our original point. Please give us some
more shout outs. Just go to wherever you're listening. Most people are listening on Apple Podcasts or YouTube. Leave us a shout out. we'll read it. We'll read your name, good, bad, indifferent, but we like just the good ones for a heads up. 5-star reviews help us share the podcast.
Constructive criticism.
All right. We got some new Rack Pack members. I've mentioned the Rack Pack a couple times here. It's a Facebook group. You go to the 100% Wild Rack Pack. It'll come up. Not to be confused. There's two out there. Ours is the 100% Wild Rack Pack, the cool one.
Yep.
It's where the cool people are.
Yeah.
And it's
And
a place where we like to make fun of Tim. It's a place where people want to know our collective strengths and weaknesses between Tim. Like who can arm wrestle? Who will win? Who can win in a 3-point contest? These are the things people need to know.
That was a basketball thing, right?
I thought so, yes. I assumed.
What other 3 points are there?
Sort of shooting game.
Yeah, I'm really good at 3-point.
Yeah. Okay. So we read the names of the new guests or the new Rack Pack members, and usually there's a fake one. Always, I'll butcher every name. All right. This week we got Tucker Strohaver.
Yeah, right.
Strohaver. What kind of name you think that is? German?
Sounds German.
Yeah.
Austrian.
We got Ryan Boutwell. About time you joined, Ryan.
Oh.
Hey, we got Oscar Meyer. If this is the fake name, Jim, work harder on the fake name.
He's over there giggling.
Jesus.
Gah.
Lucas Cottrell. Garrett Stoops. There it is. Who you think would win the karaoke contest? Me.
You probably would because you wouldn't care.
Yeah. No.
I would try too hard.
I saw you when you were trying with a Dustin Lynch podcast.
Oh, so brutal.
That day will
yes,
forever be a highlight in my mind.
And I quit before the chorus because I wanted to be done.
That day lives rent free in my mind.
And probably Dustin's too.
Yeah.
Hey, we had a Grand Ole Opry member on set and a guitar, and I play the freaking guitar.
Yeah.
What a missed opportunity.
He did nothing. You did the work. Great day for all of us. Hey, he's going on my elk hunt, by the way.
What?
Yeah, we had an opening, and so Dustin's going. So Wayno, Dustin.
I would have thought like they would have, hey, what's Tim up to? Can he?
I didn't think you could afford it.
And then Dustin. Well, if we're talking money, like you got to pay for this thing?
Yeah.
Well, that's a different story. We do payroll. Payroll deduction.
I shouldn't be going. Let's be honest.
I'd be cool if we did payroll deduction for the next like 20 years.
It would be a while.
Okay.
Based on what you make, it'd be a long time.
My wife would be like, "Hey,
we just quit making money from your job.
For some reason, we're not making it week to week anymore."
Yeah, but remember all that elk meat?
Man, it was majestic.
Real kick in the nuts would be if you went and then didn't kill anything, which is a very
that's what would happen.
Good possibility.
It'd be a neat trip out west.
That just you went on. Yes. Sorry, kids. No more vacations for the next 5 years.
Daddy just took his own vacation.
All right. That's what dads are good for. Hunting trips without their family.
Is that what they mean by deadbeat dad?
All right. We got Matt Kendall and Clark Gould. Gould. Isn't that a farm of turkey?
The Goulds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, Tim.
Man.
That's the new Rack Pack members.
Welcome, Rack Pack members. I'm going to try to be better about.
You're not. You've said this several times. You just totally fell off the face of the earth. You don't reply to people. Somebody asked if they saw you at Icast, and I had to reply, yep, that was Tim.
I replied.
Later. I want immediate responses, Tim.
Everybody wants immediate responses.
That's the day we live, the day and age we live in.
Oh, good times.
All right. Well, we've had enough here today. Actually, hey, next week we're going to have a badass guest.
Hey!
Well, the current lieutenant governor of Missouri,
LT,
and Mike Kehoe, and he's running for governor this election cycle. Huge hunter, great, really cool story. His backstory is really awesome. Had a chance to hang out with him a few times and had dinner with him once. And he's a super nice guy. Loves hunting. He does a youth turkey hunt in Missouri that he hosts every year on his farm. So it's gonna be a good one. And I want to dive into a little bit of his thoughts on.
There's so much
stuff happening right now. Yeah. It's crazy.
You gonna wear a tie?
No.
Huh.
No, I'm gonna dress down for this guy.
Okay. Where do you go from? Where do you go from?
I'm going to do this one in my underwear, Tim.
Thankfully, the desk is going to hide.
I don't care how high up in politics you are, sir. And then I'm going to point in his chest.
You know how they always say if you're public speaking, and the best way to do it is to
pretend like everybody is naked.
Pretend you're naked.
No, the crowd.
Oh man, I've been
doing it wrong, Tim. Hold on.
That's what she said.
That's why I saunter out whenever I.
You really strut like you're Conor McGregor coming out to a fight. By the way, I just watched Roadhouse. I watched 4 movies on the flight back, the 10.5-hour flight back. I watched Roadhouse.
The new one?
It's a real piece of crap.
It really is.
Yeah.
There's no beating Patrick Swayze.
I didn't turn it off, though.
Yeah. I watched the whole thing hoping that it would get better because I wanted
Never
it to.
did.
It was so dumb.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm going to write a letter to somebody.
A strongly worded memo.
You should tweet Connor, see what he says.
Oh, I'd like to. See how that goes.
Yeah.
Listen, Mr. McGregor. All right, guys. Thanks for bearing with us this episode. And stay tuned. Next week's going to be a barn burner.
Until next time, peace out.
Where did that sound come from?
The rainbows. The skies.
Take land management to the next level with DeerCast's exclusive virtual rain gauges. Pinpoint accuracy and historical data, all powered by industry-leading ag weather services. DeerCast has the tools to keep you ahead of your game.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV is brought to you by DeerCast Maps, waypoints, weather, virtual rain gauges, and more. Every tool you need to get ahead of your game.